Imagine you have a tablet in your hands. On the screen is a list of traits: IQ 150, athletic potential, perfect pitch, the absence of a procrastination gene. This isn't character customization in an RPG. This is your shopping cart in the genetics store of the future. We are on the verge of the era of designer babies. Soon, the question, "Who does the baby look like?" will be an archaic relic, replaced by, "What options did you choose in the lab?" We are tempted to erase chance from conception, turning human birth into a precisely engineered task. But are we ready to admit that we are just functions optimized for market demands? What if your DNA status becomes more important than your achievements? We risk turning humanity into a serial product and parents into consumers returning goods that don't meet specs. This is the end of biological democracy. CRISPR-Cas9 technology is molecular scissors that allow us to edit the genome with letter-by-letter precision. Scientists can already switch off genes responsible for diseases, but where is the line between healing and enhancement? Imagine we could activate genes for bone density or metabolism. Personality is not just genes. It's a complex network formed by the environment: food, stress, education, social contacts. Genes are just the sheet music. The music we play depends on the conditions. The mere possibility of editing changes how we see children. We stop seeing them as miracles and start seeing them as projects requiring a return on investment. This creates immense psychological pressure on the youth. They must justify the fortune their parents invested in their genome. We create a generation of ideal performers who have never known a life free from expectations. It is genetic determinism. When you know exactly who you should be, you lose the right to fail, to rebel, and to seek a path of your own. Block 3. The evolutionary trap. Here lies the main danger that future marketers ignore: the biological fragility of optimized systems. Evolution created us through chaotic mutations that ensure survival in an unstable environment. When we artificially narrow genetic diversity by choosing only the best traits, we make our species mortally vulnerable. If we create a generation with perfect immunity tailored to current viruses, the first mutation of a pathogen will wipe out the entire generation, as they will lack the adaptive reserve accumulated through centuries of random breeding. Designer babies are monocultures in agriculture. They yield record crops in ideal conditions, but die from a single pest. Our unpredictability, our defects, and differences are not just nature's quirks. They are our primary shield. By abandoning the genetic lottery, we deprive humanity of its main adaptive mechanism: the capacity for biological improvisation. Block 4. Ethical crisis and biological inequality. The consequences will be devastating for the social structure. If child design is a service, a gap will emerge between the naturally born and the enhanced. In Rome, society was divided into patricians and plebeians. But that was a social divide one could overcome through valor or wealth. A biological divide is permanent. The enhanced will have better memory, immunity, and perception. This is a new round of eugenics disguised as healthcare. Imagine a job interview where you present your genetic passport. If you weren't edited in the womb, you are defective market goods. We could build a world where a person's fate is predetermined before their first cry. This would be the most rigid caste system in history, fixed at the level of DNA. Romans believed in fatum, but even they couldn't peek into their own code like we can. We will become hostages of our own ambition, turning natural biological diversity into a standardized product line. Block 5. The price of choice. Abandoning humanity. What makes us human? History is a story of overcoming weaknesses, mistakes, and imperfections. Great thinkers and artists were often people with defects that fueled their creativity. If we switch off a child's tendency for melancholy, we might erase the capacity for deep empathy. If we add a diligence gene, we might kill spontaneous creative thought. Personality is a product of overcoming. We are our scars, our failures, and our quirks. If we turn humans into idealized functions, we get a soulless civilization. We will create a society without pain, but without genuine joy, because joy, without comparison to sorrow, is just an artificially maintained hormone level. We risk turning humanity into a looped algorithm, where every cycle repeats the last with minimal error, depriving the world of the unpredictable spark that has driven us forward for millennia. We will become ideal, but spiritually barren creatures, incapable of discovery because all meanings will be hard-coded at the embryonic stage. Block 6. Philosophical Finale. We are approaching the moment when biology ceases to be destiny and becomes a tool. Do we have the right to dictate the life of those who cannot consent? We take on the role of creators, forgetting that each of us is the result of billions of years of random mutations that created incredible diversity. Perhaps our vulnerability is not a bug, but nature's most perfect defense system. What would you choose? The safety of an edited life without risk, or the chaotic but real path of a human building themselves brick by brick? If you had the choice to give a child an ideal future at the cost of their freedom, or to risk leaving them natural, what would you do? This isn't just about science, it's about what it means to be alive. Are we ready to pay this price for comfort? Leave a comment, let's discuss if the genetic lottery will become the most valuable luxury in the future, the right to a unique, even if imperfect, life.